Kristen pranking me. So I'm like, no, I didn't order any room service. Kind of being an asshole back to them. No, I didn't order any room service. And he's like, security, please open the door. And I'm like, wow, they're really running with this prank. And I'm like, I'm naked. Hope you didn't bring a microscope. And he's like, sir, this is not a joke. There has been a noise complaint about a man yelling. So, if you guys are looking to hook up with somebody tonight, just know that those walls are paper thin. Because I'm not a yeller. I'm not a yeller. That threw vibes off a little bit, but we're here. Social media survival guide. Is that my first slide? Wow, okay. Let's make this up as we go. Social media is such a weird job to have, right? Because you don't have a boss. Well, you don't have a human boss. You have this boss named the algorithm, and he or she, whatever it is, it's 2023, come on, I'm not gendering anybody. They're an asshole. They're a really mean boss. You never know how to make them happy, right? It's like you guys are all in real estate or want to be in real estate, or it's like, imagine if your boss called you and was like, yo, Jamie, we're not selling houses no more. We're selling cars. And you're like, what? We're selling cars now? I guess I gotta feed my kids and pay for my Meta Verified. I guess I'll sell cars now, to keep up. So you go out, you grind, you gotta make a living, so you sell a car, and you call up your boss, you're like, hey, I just sold a car. And he's like, yeah, but what color? And you're like, what do you mean? I don't know, black. And he's like, wrong answer, we only sell red cars. And you're like, what? Okay, I gotta feed my kids and pay for my Meta Verified, so I guess I'll go sell a red car. You go and you sell a red car, and you call your boss, you're like, hey, I just sold a red car, are we good? And he's like, what do you mean, red car? I said scooters. And you're like, what? That is the ever-changing landscape of social media. For example, I post a video and it does, let's say, 10 million views. And I go, oh shit, I just figured out my next video. I just figured out my boss. I just figured out the system. So I go out and I make content just like that video that got millions of views. And then I post all of those. And they get like 100,000 views. So I call, good old buddy Algo. I'm like, yo, what the hell? You told me that if I post this type of video, I get 10 million views, and now you're only giving me 100K. Like, where's the commissions? And he's like, yeah, we don't do those videos anymore, right? The algorithm is ever changing. Not only do you have to work for one algorithm, you have to work for like how many? 6, 7? You got TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, OnlyFans. It's like, how are you even supposed to do this? So I've kind of, for my own mental health, have started this like survival guide, something that I can kind of follow so that, do we make death jokes here? I'll let your minds go crazy. I made a guide so that I don't, jump off of something kind of tall. And I hope no matter where you're at in your social media journey, I'm trying to really help the beginners, the amateurs, and the pros with this guide. So in order to do that, I want to go back to the very beginning. I want to show you what London Laz was like when he had 0 followers, okay? This is in the deep, dark web. You'll never be able to find this video, and I've been kind enough to show it today. So before we play this, I want to spoil it a little bit. I was running, I had started a speaker company when I was 21. I developed a Bluetooth speaker that stuck to anything. We used GoPro mounts, so our Bluetooth speaker could slide onto GoPro mounts. I thought I was a fucking genius. Nobody else did. I ran that company into the ground very quickly. But through that, I was making videos. I was doing all the content, and somebody said, hey, you're kind of funny. You should do social media. And I was like, yeah, I'll give that a try. So this video I'm about to play is literally an idea I had on the way to work one day. And I was like, I think this is going to be my start at trying to be funny online. And this video got 80 million views. Right? Jesus, I'm walking on water now. Your very first video, 80 million views on Facebook? Like, what? Spoiler alert, I didn't get any piece of content to hit even 10,000 views for the next 5 years after I posted this. So I don't know what's worse, and you guys can decide. Posting for 5 years and never having any success, or your very first video having probably the most success you'll ever had, right? They're both kind of shitty. So let's play this video. I'm very talented. You guys are going to see world's biggest bubble. Can we crank up the audio? Does this have audio? It's coming. The gum is rock hard. I didn't blow the bubble. That's how my dumbass mind works. I'm like, that was the first video. Let's just chew bubblegum and title it The World's Biggest Bubble. And so yeah, I got millions of views and hundreds of thousands of hate comments that I wasn't necessarily prepared for. I'm a monster, right? It was like, somebody murder this man, somebody delete this man's social security number, and one comment stood out amongst all of the others so much that I went and got surgery after this comment. This is a true ass story. That comment said, world's biggest bubble? More like world's biggest underbite. And it's true. Apparently, and I don't know if this is real, this is what the doctor told me. It's rare, but men between the ages of 17 and 13 can have, see, exactly. Men between the ages of 17 and 19 can grow an underbite. Have you guys ever heard this? Because I hadn't, but I had an underbite, so apparently it was true. My bite was perfect my whole childhood until I was like 18. And then my bottom jaw, just like starts to move and you start looking like a donkey. So by the time I was, this age, I had a full-blown underbite. And I didn't really care about my appearance. I wasn't like, that wasn't stopping me from making content even after that comment. That's like my favorite hate comment of all time. But what happened was, the way your mouth works, apparently all the teeth help each other, right? So every time you bite, all the teeth are helping each other bite. When you have an underbite, the only teeth that touch are your back molars. So you bite into a burger, and the lettuce slides through the front of your mouth. Like, you can't like chew, right? So the insurance said that they would cover the surgery. And so if anybody in here is questioning my commitment to appeasing my audience, walk out. So I fixed my bite, And the funniest thing was, growing up, kids always said, you look like Kevin from Home Alone. But when I got jaw surgery, it got way worse. I was hoping it would go less, but I looked more like him, so I kind of blamed the doctor. He probably did that on purpose. Well, cool, guys. Go to the next slide, or two slides, or right here. Yeah. So just really quick, just the chapters of this book: Tools for Survival, Analysis, Paralysis, or how Will Smith says paralysis by analysis. If you ever read his book, I just had to change it because I don't want him to slap me. Pillars of content: how to be consistent, diversify, and dream big. So let's get this party started. Next slide. Okay, tools for survival. So what you need: a heartbeat, a phone, and an idea. That is it. That's literally all you need. You guys like to complicate things. I can tell. I can just tell by looking at you. Let's simplify it. What you don't need is a ring light. But I see all my favorite influencers buy ring lights. So I got on Amazon Prime and it showed up in 2 hours. And now I'm a content. You don't need that. You don't need camera equipment. I mean, I know you guys see behind the scenes of Jeff's room. Little overkill. You don't need all that stuff he's got. I'm telling you right now. Supermodel body definitely helps. Definitely helps. But I am living proof that you don't need it. I don't got the assets. Editing software, most apps, TikTok, it's within the app, so you don't need that. An assistant and a plan. Like, you don't even need a plan. So again, I'm trying to make this simple. Tools for survival. If you want to talk about going long term, I've been doing videos on my own full time for about 3 years now, and I get caught up in the things you don't need all the time. And I always try to revert back to just having a good idea. My phone and a good idea. That is what gets me, more followers, more views, more email signups, or whatever it is. So when you're thinking about like your real estate content, you just need an idea. You don't even need a plan. You don't even know how to film it. If you have an idea, you can figure it out. Next slide. Or I guess I have this remote. Okay. Do we have any like boomers in here that still buy medicine from those commercials during the golf breaks or something? You know what I'm talking about? Like all these little like weird medicines that are coming out. This one's for you guys. Post it all. New pill. Just made it. So when we're talking about analysis paralysis, this is kind of my vaccine triggered. Everybody's triggered for analysis paralysis. Now, what is analysis paralysis? It's when you have a goal in mind, a plan, something you want to do, something you want to accomplish, and you start analyzing it to the point where you don't ever do anything. So it's like, your friend Nancy says, yeah, I'm going to run a mile every week this year, 1 mile. What should Nancy do? She should tie her shoes and go run. But what does Nancy do instead? Gets on Amazon Prime. Best shoes for running. Let me read the reviews. Best jacket for running. Let me read the reviews. How many feet is in a mile? Oh, that's a lot of feet. Let me write that down in my journal. Analysis paralysis, right? So instead of running the damn mile, she writes notes? Do you guys catch yourself doing this? You're like, today I'm going to film a TikTok, but I got to journal it first. I got to script it. I got to download all these apps. I got to tell my wife. I got to tell my kids. Right? And then you don't end up filming a TikTok. That's what I don't want to have happen. What I do want you to do is set up the phone, just film yourself. You're going to sound like a dumbass for a long time. Look at me. I do this full time. I'm still there. Don't care. So my cure to this is called post it all. Post it all. Instead of paralyzing yourself from analyzing what you want to do, just post everything. So for the most part, we're in real estate. Like obviously real estate needs to be a component of your online persona. But what if like you're a sneakerhead? Or what if you're a chef? You know, you have all these other elements to your personality that are so important to building your brand that you need to take more post it all. I mean, look at this review. What does it say? I've done a lot of stupid shit in my life, but nothing was as stupid as not taking post it all earlier. 5 stars, so you know it's real. Oh, I have a screen right here. Okay, I'm so bad at these guys. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so just post it all. Instead of analyzing what and when to post, if you have an idea and a heartbeat and a phone, just post it. At the end of the day, you don't get it. Well, the unfortunate thing about social is you don't get to decide what people like and what people hate, right? You can spend hours on a good video, 2 likes. You can spend 2 minutes on a shitty video, 2 million likes. And you're like, ah. Right? So you don't really get to decide, so why not just post all of it? Oh, let's see if my slide thing works. Hell yeah. Okay, barricade yourself, right? Create a structure. If you're gonna survive for the long term, you need some form of structure. So let's say you're kind of past the idea portion. You've started posting. This simple structure that I created for myself is what took me from 0 to 9 million on TikTok. Literally, just this. So what happens when, after you've posted, after you've had a little bit of success, whether that's 1,000 views, whether that's 1 million views, you know, whatever success is in your perspective, you can ride that type of video. So let's say sneakers. Let's say you're a sneakerhead and people are loving your sneaker content. Remember how at the beginning of this, I told you your boss is an asshole? One day he's gonna be like, yo, F your sneaker videos. And he's not gonna push them anymore. And all of a sudden your channel's dead, right? People on TikTok hammer their audiences so much with the same video that it is bound to exhaust. After doing this for 3 years, I've exhausted probably 9 to 12 pillars of content. It's just how it works. If you're gonna survive for the long haul, or even in the short term, you're gonna have to learn how to build more pillars. So for example, these are types of content you're going to post. This makes it so easy on you that when you wake up Monday, you know exactly what you got to do during the week. Okay, I need 3 real estate videos. I need 3 sneaker videos, and I need 3 cooking videos. And this is all on the same channel. This is all on the same channel to build your personal brand. Once one pillar exhausts, how nice would it be to have 2 more that you can lean back on? So for example, in the beginning of my TikTok, it was Tesla videos, movie recreation, so like the Home Alone joke, and just sketch comedy. The Tesla videos were firing on all cylinders for like the first year of my TikTok, but those exhausted really quick. But because I built 2 more pillars, I could flip-flop. I would say, okay, I've done too many Tesla videos. I need to move into like the movie recreation videos, right? These are basically videos where I act out a scene from like my favorite movies and I stack them on top of each other. You know, mine is the shitty version, theirs is the movie. And once those started going viral, I could exhaust that and then go back to the Tesla. So this structure isn't what you need in the beginning. What do you need in the beginning? Heartbeat, an idea, and a phone. Once you're kind of past that, start to structure it out. I need 3 pillars of content. And this is sponsored by a company I helped start called Pillar.io. You guys should look that up. It's a great place you can just type in your name, the email attached to all of your socials, and it'll auto-populate all the data, all the stats, and it'll always update it. You can also do like a link in bio, things like that. So barricade yourself. Once you've created some form of a structure, let's talk about consistency. And I hate beating this dead horse. It's like this horse has been dead for years and we're still kicking it in the balls. But it's true. Consistency really is the way to millions, right? Being consistent. That doesn't mean every day. That doesn't mean every week. It kind of means whatever you're going to be able to stick with. So here's what you probably think consistency looks like. You know, you get on Google, best ways to be consistent on social medias. And then obviously you're going to get fed ads of like tools to help you calendar your content. Oh my gosh, if I pay $12.99, I get these tools. But if I just upgrade to $15.99, I get another, I got to do $15.99. You don't need a calendar. You don't need a calendar to plan out all your content. What it actually looks like is that posting button, right? All you need is that red little button. That's like a screenshot of the actual one on TikTok, but you know what I mean? Like on Instagram it says share or whatever. I had this idea when I was really attacking TikTok. This was like summer of 2020. And I was just so in my head all the time about what I was posting and what it looked like, what I was saying, if it was going to go viral or not, to the point where I wanted to give up. So I had this kind of epiphany, and this is going to sound so backwards, but this is what helped me. I moved in the beginning, right? This is the beginning, 0 followers. I moved away from what I'm posting to how many times I click that button. Meaning, if every day I just click that button once, I did my job. I stopped focusing on the content and started focusing on clicking the button. I had to make it simple for myself in the beginning because I was a wreck. So again, social media is brutal. It's brutal. And I knew I had the creativity, I knew I had the tenacity, but just focusing on the content kind of hurts. And if you simplify and just focus on the post button, if you click that post button, you made content, right? Yeah. So the first month, this is March of 2020, I'm a director at an ad agency, and this actor comes on my set, and we're just talking shop. I'm like, what do you do? And he's like, I do TikTok. And I'm like, cringe, get off my set. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? TikTok is very new. I think they merged summer of 2019. Nobody was really on it until 2020. And so now we're in March of 2020 during the story. And he goes, yeah, I just hit 1 million followers. And I'm like, what? So I download TikTok because of this kid. I get on his profile, and I had just wrapped up a year of posting every day on Instagram. And these aren't like TikTok videos. These are like Key and Peele sketches, obviously on a much lower level. I just grinded my ass off for an entire year, didn't miss a day, and nothing happened. No followers, no views, no compliments, just underbite jokes. And here this kid is posting, you know, a million views, like per video. And I'm like, oh. You know, the tops of buildings started looking really nice. Standing up there, contemplating life. And so I was like, I gotta give this a try, you know? And he was just like, yeah, just film a video and post it. TikTok's beautiful, nobody cares. Nobody cares if the video's good, nobody cares if the video's bad, just post. So I think that happened in February, so now we're in March, and I just set out a goal to do 100 videos in a month. So that's 3 a day. I didn't know what I was gonna post. Again, had zero plan, definitely didn't have a ring light. I still don't have a ring light, forget about the ring lights. And by the end of that month, I had like 1 or 2 videos go viral. I think, you know, maybe close to 10 million. And I had 100,000 followers, magically. I did not twerk once. Yeah, no dancing. I can't dance. And so that got me started on this, you know, this whole idea about clicking the post button. And so once I realized like I can do this, I can be consistent, I diversified way too late. And that's why I just want to present this idea to you. Even though a lot of you are far from this, right? We should just hone in on making content. But I just want to present this to you in the case that something starts working so you're not like me and do a shitty job at diversifying yourself. So there's rookie diversification and there's pro diversification, or I guess I should say vet, right? Rookie diversification, I mean, they're still rookies. They're still part of the league. You know what I mean? They're still playing with the vets. They're on the same court. They're shooting the same ball. It's good. It's really, really good. That's where I think we had mentioned it in the last talk a little bit, that you can film one piece of content and post it everywhere now, right? That's great diversification. I even figured that out too late. You know, obviously I was on TikTok in the very beginning, before Reels and before Shorts, so I didn't really have anywhere to post my TikToks. But now you have zero excuse. You have zero excuse to be diversifying, right? So you film one video. Hey guys, here's my new property. It's got 6 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, and you post that everywhere. Great content. Great content. That's good. That's still good, but that is rookie. That is rookie, and that's what I was doing for the longest time. And that's why, if you go look up my name, how is it possible that I have almost 10 million on TikTok and nowhere near that on my other socials, right? Because I did rookie diversification. Pro diversification is, on TikTok, you're a TikToker, lots of twerking. On YouTube, you're a YouTuber. And on Instagram, you do photo and video, right? I mean, photo's dying, but you should still do photo. Just on Instagram, you're an Instagrammer. So look at this. So let's look at the before. Don't look at after yet. Don't look. So before, when I was doing pro, I was around 5 million mark, 2.2 thousand on YouTube. It's great. 63K on Instagram, right? That was just me repurposing my TikTok content. But after, then this is literally starting last summer, I went to 9.5 on TikTok, 250K on YouTube, and 150K on TikTok. So you can kind of see. You can kind of see the difference just after, what is that, 9 months? And the way I figured this out through a very sad experience I had at Disneyland. This fan comes up to me and he's like, hey, London, man, I love your stuff. And I'm kind of in this realm of like diversifying myself. And I'm just talking with this kid, you know, and I go, oh, do you subscribe to me on YouTube and follow me on Instagram? You know, trying to up my numbers a little bit. And he's like, oh yeah, let me do that. So he pulls out his phone. I mean, this kid's like, you know, a kid, 13, 14 years old. And he starts scrolling through my Instagram. And you know, kids are, I guess, he's probably younger than that. But, you know, kids are just so pure. They just tell you what they think. And he just looks up at me. Why would I follow you on Instagram if you just post the same things you post on TikTok? And I'm just like, son of a bitch, where's your mom? Go get on Pinocchio or some shit. But that's facts, right? That's kind of facts. So again, it's not bad to repurpose your content on everything. But if you kind of diversify yourself, on TikTok, you're a TikToker, YouTube, you're a YouTuber, Instagram, you're an Instagrammer, you're going to give people a reason to subscribe and follow on other platforms. So what makes a good creator? I think you guys are going to like this section. Who wants to answer? A, B, C, or D? Someone say it. A? Idiot. Next. D? Well, I mean, if we want to be Tristan, everybody would click D, you know. Who doesn't want to be Tristan? Nobody. So, in my opinion, the answer is B. And this is going to sound backwards, but this is what got me to where I am, is sales. So you think about the Mr. Beasts of the world, you think about the Logan Pauls of the world, the Mark Robers of the world, like these huge creators who not only have huge audiences, but also have huge businesses? Is it because they're insanely creative? Creativity is a driver of success, for sure. I mean, those guys have some creative ideas. But as a content creator myself, rarely am I impressed by their creativity. And what I am impressed is just how good at marketing and sales they are. As a salespeople, right, we're all a form of salespeople. I mean, sales is everything. If you're not good at sales, you're just going to struggle in life in general. Like a good salesman is like persuasive, confident, also creative, tenacious. Like as salespeople, we have all these qualities that if we can inject into our content, we can sell people on why they should follow us, why they should like us. You know where this is going? And I was a summer salesman. I sold pest control door to door, believe it or not. It was ass. One of the worst experiences of my life. But I didn't realize how much it played into what I'm doing today until I got to where I am. My manager sat me down. You literally go out and knock doors from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. trying to sell doors. And he said, imagine you have 100 doors in front of you. I promise you that if you knock all of those, you're going to get 2 to 3 sales. And that was pretty much always true. If I could hit 100 doors knocked, you'd have 97 people say no, but you'd have 3 people say yes. And that was like $1,500 in a day. Great, right? So when I started TikTok, if you remember in March, I did 100 videos. It was the same application. It was the same application where I said, okay, if I can do 100 videos, 2 or 3 should go viral. It's just a numbers game. Like what is in real estate, is there a general, like if you show this many houses, you should get X sales? Is there something like that? Not really? Like what? Like what? Yeah. How many appointments you set. So industry standard say that some areas they do like 100 dials. 100 dials, maybe contact with about 20 people. Yeah. Those 20 people, and then gotcha. Okay, yeah. See, it's a numbers game. Yeah, it's all numbers. It's a numbers game. So like, so you do the math backwards on this. You do the math backwards. This many. What do I got to do over here at the very beginning of the process to get there? You see, like how many followers did you just gain on TikTok? Just for doing that. Yeah. See, you see what I'm saying though? So like if you're a veteran real estate agent and Jimmy just showed up after he got his license and they're like, I called 20 people and I haven't sold a house. You're going to be like, get the fuck out of here. Right? Am I wrong? So what do you think I say to novices when they say, I posted 20 videos and nobody liked it? Post 80 more. Maths, quick maths. Right? And this idea all came from just getting good at sales. Because sales is a numbers game. Content is also a numbers game. You'll hear it from the best creators in the world. Don't complain until you've posted 100 times. And then we can start complaining. A lot. So if the only thing stopping you from posting online and building your personal brand, your real estate brand, whatever it is you think you're not creative enough, try to fall back on your sales skills, your tenacity to post quantity, to post large numbers, your confidence and your persuasion, and you'll be just fine. If you can interject that into your personality during your content, people are going to be more likely to follow you. They're going to be more likely to comment. They're going to fall in love with your personality. And obviously the proof is in the pudding. I'm not talking out of my butt. So before I learned sales, there should have been like a dash. So this is like 2015 to 2018. After that 80 million view video, in 3 years, dead ass, went back and counted, 28,000 views. Because I was just I was the kid that was like, I posted 15 times and nobody watched. That was me. After I learned sales, between like 2019 and 2023, 1.7 billion views. And like obviously I have a little bit of creativity, 100%, and I got better at it. But it was because I always fell back on my sales skills. What should I say next? Oh yeah. So obviously I always try to connect everything I do with kind of a higher purpose. That famous quote where it's like, I'm going to butcher this, but it's like the man who focuses on the destination won't reach the destination, but the man that, let's see. Yeah, the journey. Like the man who wants to walk 100 miles won't walk 100 miles, but the man that loves walking will, right? So fall in love with the journey and find a higher purpose for survival, really. Because if you want to do anything in content creation long term, it takes a long ass time. Like my general rule of thumb is like if you're going to commit to building your audiences, whether it's your email list, your following, it's like a 2-year minimum of being consistent, and that's just kind of the hard truth. And there's kind of like a guarantee that if you can do those things, you're going to sell more. You're going to sell more houses. If you can be that person that Jeff was talking about, whatever his name is, just because he's online and he's building his socials, everything else builds. So my purpose for survival right now is like help others accomplish their dreams. So on the left, that's Dan McFarland, another famous TikTok creator. His dream since he was a kid was to be a DJ. So this video just went live like 2 days ago on my YouTube channel. We sold out a concert and he got to do a whole entire set in front of 1,500 people. That's what fuels my soul. If you think me impersonating Macaulay Culkin fuels my soul, no. Just no. That next photo, I hiked the tallest mountain one of the tallest mountains in Utah. It's almost 13,000 feet. I hiked up all of my streaming gear and I got the world's highest Fortnite win. Yeah, that was a nightmare. It took 8 hours to get up. We started with eight men, ended with 5. three turned around. That next photo is one of my producers. His dream is to go on Survivor, so we made him play Survivor. The guy next to him in the beanie is Joe Anglim. I don't know if there's any Survivor fans out here, but he's one of the most famous Survivor players. They got to play Survivor. The next photo is my buddy playing a pro golfer for $10,000. You know, he told me, I want to make money playing golf, but he sucks, so he's never going to win anything, you know? And I knew that, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll just get a pro golfer and we'll play. This is the stuff that really fuels my soul. The short form content is short form content is the way to kind of fuel your dreams. So if your dreams are sell X amount of homes, buy your own home, buy a car, short form content is kind of the Kickstarter. It's kind of sad, but in this world, you know, social credit means a lot. It means a lot, and people that figure that out usually open some really cool doors. You know, the only reason Tristan took a conversation with me when I interviewed with Success.com was because I had somewhat of a following, you know, and you can use that to your advantage to help, you know, do whatever you want in this life. So questions? Are Jeff and yeah, that's it, guys. Sorry, that's all. Q&A time. Yeah, some good music. Oh, there he is. He didn't even listen. Did you hear what I said? Where's that?
All right, there we go. Hold on. Shooting a video because you said just post it. I was like, okay, I'll just post it.
Yeah.
You inspired me. I was twerking outside.
Yeah.
You got to check it out. It's on TikTok, everyone. Follow me.
Tristan's got that dump truck.
You know it. I was waiting for you to post the secret to Instagram.
The secret to Instagram?
The graph?
Yeah, dump trucks.
Yeah. All right, that was awesome, right, guys? All right, so we've got some questions. First, I have one for you. No ring lights. Do square lights count, though?
Square lights immediately increase in followers.
I thought so. All right, first question. You've transitioned or started to transition over to YouTube a lot more, long form content. What do you think the immediate future of social media looks like? Is it more short form? Is it long form? Is it both? What do you think it's going to transition into?
It's definitely still short form. Short form is still trending up. By no means is me transitioning into, you know, from 30-second videos to 10-minute videos, like a theory that short form content is going downhill. It's just another means of diversification. So for example, I think the reason why I transitioned is because in order to, oh, thanks for coming, Jeff.
Yeah, man.
We're at a conference.
We're done. Oh, everybody, forget it.
There's a conference.
Stop talking.
You know, with people here, Jeff.
Jeez.
Okay. Oh, he's playing. Yeah. So yeah, by no means is like transitioning to long form a sign that you guys shouldn't. That like short form's already too late, right? Mm-hmm. I think for me, I just had this realization: if people want to consume 10 minutes of me on TikTok, like how many videos is that? Where's Quick Maths guy? Oh, yeah, right there. No, not Quick. Okay, yeah. So I think I just wanted to share more of who I am, what I want to be doing long term in a 10-minute video. You watch one of my YouTube videos, you've watched a couple hundred of my TikToks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. True.
So again, that's just a diversification tool. But if you're getting started, how lucky is it for you guys that you can get by with making 15-second videos?
Very true. All right, you inspired me actually when you said focus on the post. Mm-hmm. So I literally went outside and I was in the middle of shooting a video when I heard the claps. I was like, oh crap! I was shooting a video and I realized when you said it, I was like, all around us, we're doing so much that we could literally just post anything. And I overthink it. I was thinking, man, I overthink it. I've got this thing where I'm like outlining everything, and it's like, should I post this? And then right before I post it, I'm like, oh, but I'm fat, and you know, I'm ugly. It's like I think these things, and I'm like, but Jeff's uglier, and I'm like, oh, he does pretty good.
But do you have an underbite?
I was like, huh?
No underbite. So
no underbite. No. But I think about these things, whatever it is, right? And I'm like, but it's good content. I just want to post something. And so when you said that, that was the number one thing I wrote. Focus on the post. It's so easy.
Just pressing your thumb to those pixels.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that, I thought, you know, I'm going to stop overthinking it because even with the amount of things that I post, there are times when I'm like, I don't know if I should post that, right? And you said the same thing.
Well, do you remember back when we first met, I think we kind of talked about something similar, and you were posting very professional, high-quality things.
Yes, I remember that.
Do you remember the first viral video you had was opening the Xbox controller?
Yep.
Like, how random. You would have never guessed that would be the thing that takes off for you. Because it just, you know, I think you had bought a package. I don't know if it was a controller or not, but you just opened a package and people loved it.
He changed my mind. And I'll tell you, in this relationship, what I learned over the process of knowing him for 2.5, 3 years, he had like 2 million followers when we first started. It was, Tristan, you should post more of what is trending, what people are looking at, what you're great at already, and then let them interact with you with your profession in between, which is then what Jeff and I continually talk about. Well,
yeah, it's like I think of myself as a funnel, right? So top of funnel, you have just my viral stupid videos. Mid funnel, you have me talking kind of about my business or photos on Instagram, and then bottom of funnel is where I could convert my sales. So it's like I used to think backwards, where it's like, oh, I need something professional to go viral. When in reality, you just need eyes, and then you can convert those to what matter, right? So if you get eyes, people might be like, yo, Tristan, I saw this video of you reviewing this Xbox, but what do? Boom, you know what I mean? Easy.
I think it's fascinating. As a lot of what you're saying, a lot of what Kenya is saying is the exact same shit that we preach all the time. But what's fascinating to me is A, it's validating, but B, this is not coming from real estate people, and they're saying the exact same thing. So if you're not noticing that, as London said, just walk out right now. Okay, Aaron had a question. Where do you see your pillars of content transitioning over the next 2 years?
Pillars of content?
Pillars of content?
Yep.
Yeah. So it just took a hard pivot, I would say, in the last 6 months to where it was, the Tesla, the movie stuff was just dying out. It's now transitioned into this whole idea of helping other people do cool things. So I go out and I collect people's dreams, whether it's families, friends, strangers, and now it's kind of just knocking that off one by one. I'm more focused on that pillar. That'd probably be my biggest pillar. My other 2 pillars are food reviews, random. I decided to review like Korean hot dogs the other day and it went crazy. So I'm like, shit, I got to do that now. And then myth busting. So I kind of have these 3, again, it's okay that those are so different from what I started with. People need, in this world of ADHD, they need new content. So I think I'll probably ride those out for the next year or so, at least.
Well, we were talking before you came out here today in the back, and you were talking about how, you don't have a business. You've done all of this, and you've gone through these moments where it's like, well, shit, what am I going to do? Is this sustainable? What happens if TikTok gets banned? All these things. But the one thing that I said to London is that most of you don't have is he has the influence. He has the eyeballs. And if you can build that, you can sell ice to an Eskimo. I mean, you can do anything. And I think that's really the name of the game. He has the opportunity.
If you go to his TikTok right now, go watch the one where he tries to inflate a raisin. It's so hilarious.
If you want to lose brain cells, go scroll my TikTok.
I hadn't seen that one. That's so good. You pinned it. Following, by the way, if you're not. All right. When you do content diversification, are you posting different content to different platforms or the same content in different ways? That's by Joe. Joe, where are you at? There you are in the middle.
Yo.
What's up, Joe?
So yeah, I mean, if you remember between the rookie and the pro diversification, it is my TikToks that we produce every week go everywhere, but I make it a bigger point to post new photos on my Instagram and content that's just for Instagram, and then I make it a huge point to just do those 10 to 20 minute YouTube videos on my YouTube. But yes, so I'm kind of in between the two, right? My TikToks go everywhere because that's just standard. I can just do that without thinking. But I make a conscious effort to be an Instagrammer on Instagram and a YouTuber on YouTube.
Has it helped in transitioning your audience into YouTube since it was so big on TikTok, or did you get it to grow in some other ways?
Yeah, so that didn't work for me. It's worked for hundreds of thousands of other creators where it's like, oh, I like this kid on TikTok or I like this kid on Instagram. I'm going to go find him everywhere else. I wasn't in that boat, so I literally had to go in again to each app and grow it organically. And obviously, there's crossover. There's a ton of crossover just with an audience as big as TikTok. But I'm just a firm believer on growing things organically.
You had 0 followers on YouTube practically like a year ago, I think.
Yeah,
is that when we last
literally a year ago.
Yeah. And then now you have 257,000 grew organically. What would you say, if we could pin it down to help us out, what would you focus on if we're trying to grow our YouTube channel?
Yeah, shorts. I mean, again, short form content is king right now, and it will probably be king. Let's be honest, humans are getting dumber. Most of us.
Lazier.
Sure. So like short form content will only get shorter. Right? I mean, if you scroll on TikTok for like 5 seconds, there's those videos where it's like split into 3 videos. Yeah. Like, that's how bad our attention is. Where it's like the video and then it's one of those apps where it's, I don't know, collecting pigeons or something. It's like, so YouTube Shorts. YouTube Shorts was huge and still is huge. We have, crazy success with YouTube Shorts. But again, I think what makes YouTube special is YouTube Shorts is the business card and my long form videos are my business, right? So they go, oh, this kid was kind of funny trying to inflate a grape. Go to his channel. Oh, he has 30-minute episodic YouTube videos. And I think that's where the subscription happens.
Episodic. That's a big word for you.
Yeah, just learned it.
I want to do 2 things for the next question. We've got 10 minutes, so if you have questions, bring them in. But first, I want to give a quick little shout out because big fans of yours are Drunk on Social team. So how many of you are social geniusers in here? Raise your hand. Yeah. So pay attention to whose hands are up and ask them why they're social geniusers, aka they're within our coaching platform. But right now, In, obviously very, very well. She does an amazing job. Can everybody give a round of applause for In and what she does? But behind the scenes, Fionn, Yong, Steffi, Ella, Miggs, Nate, and CK are all watching. My oldest daughter, Kaylee's in the back of the room. She also works with us as well. So you guys, thank you for everything that you do, and seriously. I hope you are enjoying watching this today. One of these days, we're going to come visit you in the Philippines. Okay, question. I asked Kenya the same question, which was, we know that this room is probably 90% real estate. What would be your advice for someone who just watched your presentation on how they should apply what you're teaching them like today?
I would guess if you're a beginner and you've had like inklings of these thoughts of I need some social, I need some social proof as to what I'm doing, just do not overthink it. If you guys go home, I swear to God, and you write a script, humans are getting dumber, right? Just go home, set up the camera. I think there's something like when I get in ruts, when I burn out, because I'm now in the phase where I plan out all my content, right? It's kind of the pro level of content creation. But when I still get in ruts, and sometimes I can't think of ideas, I literally turn on my camera and just blabber, and then, oh, boom, maybe something pops up. So just practice talking to camera. If you guys can just talk to camera, you don't even need to post it if that's not where you're at yet. But the easiest place to get started is talking to camera. Hearing your voice, you're going to think you sound like an idiot. You don't. You might. But yeah, just talk to camera. Literally, that simple.
I've got another question from Andy. Part of the reason I got off IG was that my followers were the same people on Facebook, and I was just seeing the same content twice. How would you recommend connecting with new people on the different channels when your existing connections just follow you on your different channels?
That's interesting. That's an interesting question because I actually don't use TikTok, IG, and YouTube as like a connective platform. I actually use LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is where the real relationships are. That's why people are on LinkedIn. They're not necessarily there to consume content. That's where it's going. But I would suggest looking at it from a content standpoint, looking at it from a creator standpoint, right? You're either a creator or a consumer, and you need to start moving into the creator space and less consuming space. So, I mean, if you're hung up about consuming content, stop consuming content, or if it's bugging you that you're seeing the same thing everywhere, move more into the content creation, post, and get off the app. Like, for example, when I post on TikTok, I don't get on the app until, later that day. I try not to consume.
Is that so you don't see the shitty comments, or?
Yeah. The underbite comments, yeah. Or your comments.
Or my comments.
Yeah.
Get off now. This is terrible.
But yeah, move away from consumer and into creation.
Okay, I like that. Question from Ruby. Where you at, Ruby? There you are, Ruby, the queen.
The queen.
You have another question on top of that? Or no? Is there an optimal time to post short form, or does it matter when you post it?
I love this. This ties back into my analysis paralysis theme, right? People are like, shit, it's past 9 a.m. when they told me to post. I can't post, right? No. I think what's important is creating a schedule for you. There is no right or wrong time to post. I mean, you just can't guess, right? But what you can rely on is the schedule you set out for you. So for example, when I was doing 3 a day, which by the way, I did 3 TikToks a day for a year and a half, never missed a day. My schedule was 8 a.m., 9 a.m., and 12 noon. And is that why I grew? Probably not, other than posting 3 times a day, right? So just pick a time, and that's when you post, and you hit it over and over and over again. You're gonna train your audience. Granted, there's gonna be a small percentage of people waiting for your posts, let's be honest. But no, there is not a correct, in my opinion, I don't think there's too many correct times to post. Obviously, don't post in the middle of the night, maybe, I don't know. But create a schedule and stick to it. I think that's more important to focus on.
I don't even know if it matters if you post in the middle of the night, because most of the time your followers aren't going to see it till a day, 2 days,
true.
a week later anyway. So I mean, if you're not posting because you forgot to post today, I'd say still do it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Click the button.
Valerie, how do you come up with your ideas? Clean spaghetti out of the Tesla, et cetera. What do you recommend for people who don't have those creative thoughts? And by the way, she's full of shit. She's got a lot of creative ideas, by the way.
You do.
Oh, man.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
Wait, is this Valerie? Hi, Mom. You raised me.
I did actually.
Geez, this is such a hard question because it's like, was I born with it? Am I just stupid? But obviously the spaghetti on the Tesla, for those of you who don't know, is like my first viral hit was we had just bought a car that has white seats and they say you can't stain them. So me and my brother are sitting around and we're like, oh, let's eat. So I had leftover spaghetti and we're eating the spaghetti. And my brother goes, don't your seats not stain? And that's when I'm like, let's go try it and film it and put it on TikTok. That was my first 10 million view video. Go watch it. But I think what helped me in the beginning when I didn't have a creative flow was just writing everything down in a notes app, even if they're bad ideas, right? Because I think what happens in the beginning is you think of an idea. Let's say you have this idea for a real estate video. The first thing you typically do is talk yourself out of it, right? So at my company, I have 5 employees, and we get together every Thursday to go over YouTube content. And the first question I ask all of my guys, I ask each of them, give me a bad idea. I just say, give me a really bad idea, and if it's good, you're fired, right? If it's good, you're fired. And this kind of obviously I'm not gonna fire them, but it kind of, what I hope they learn is there really are no bad ideas. Because literally they'll go, put a chicken in your car. And then that fires something in my head, and then it fires something in somebody else's head, right? So stop talking yourself out of ideas, because we're all creative enough. But the difference between you and I is I talked myself into doing them, and you talked yourself out of doing them, right? So write down everything, Real estate video naked, write it down. Probably a bad idea, you're going to prison, I don't care, write it down.
You know what? That's a good post, by the way. Just post it to your story, post an image, just ask your audience, what is the dumbest idea you can come up with for me to post? And you might get 5 responses, but that might be 5 inspiring ideas. I mean, who had the idea of buying an entire wardrobe full of suits that have just random shit all over them?
This guy.
He's so entrenched in his TikTok right now.
He's buying suits right now. He's literally buying suits right now. Yeah.
You need to follow right on him. All right, last question. Aaron Dressel again. I know you're not into analysis paralysis, but how do you use your analytics and data to pivot your content?
Oh, that's great. I mean, so when we have like a banger of a video, that sparks 10 more videos, right? So obviously we're analyzing everything, but we don't let the analyzing paralyze us. That's the difference there is we look at the trends, we look at what other people are doing good, we look at how can I involve my personality in that video. For example, like these myth busting videos have been around forever on TikTok. It's basically like you watch somebody else's video and then you go out in the real world and try to prove if they're lying or telling the truth, right? That's been around forever. But I just bet on myself that my personality would perform better than other people's personalities, right? So I kind of looked at that trend and made it my own. So we are extremely analytical about everything we do now. But again, if you're a beginner, you're going to have 0 data to go off. And that's why you start taking some post-it-all. Overdose, baby.
Did the spaghetti clean off of the white seats?
Does a magician ever reveal his secrets?
gotta watch on TikTok.
Awesome. London, this has been fantastic. Before you give them applause, let me give you a quick little lunch update. So for those of you that are VIPs, you're going to go straight across, lunch is across in that room over there. For the rest of you, you have to actually stand outside the room and watch us eat and have conversation with the speakers and then think twice about why you didn't buy. I'm kidding. You have a bunch of options. You can go downstairs. There's several places, including the bar, including the marketplace. I think there's some places nearby. The key here is that you need to be back in 50 minutes. That's 12:40. It's 11:50 right now, Pacific Standard Time. Be back at 12:40 where we're going to start our first panel. So, London, dude, you're a stud. Thank you so much for being here, brother.
Thank you, guys.
94. Are you getting in? Yes. Badass. That's exciting.